Welcome back. This is KTN Newsdesk. If you're seated on this side, you know we're having an afternoon business chat. And today we want to talk about power and how critical is power. Joining me is James Mwangi from Critical Power. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
James, you are in an interesting line of business. When our power goes off, you check in.
Yes, that's
How
right.
does your business work?
We basically offer power backup solutions.
Right.
So that in case you don't have power or in case power goes off, we are there, we come in and we provide a solution that will keep you on and uninterrupted, so that to make sure that you continue with your work and to make sure that you don't stop until when maybe the power resumes.
So when you talk about power backup, what is this? Is it solar? What exactly is it?
We have maybe a number of solutions for power backup,
Right.
starting from the main one, which is generator.
Okay.
But as you know, generator, the cost of running it is quite expensive.
Right. And the noise.
Yes, so yeah, and the noise as well.
Right.
So we've come up with other solutions to ensure that in case you don't need the generator or you don't want to have the generator on and you want to reduce your consumption of the fuel,
Right.
you can either have an inverter, you can have a UPS,
Right.
you can have other alternative sources of energy,
Right.
whereby we have solar, we have biomass.
So the understanding is that solar is just one of the options. It's not the only option.
It is not the only option. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
James, earlier on, Parliament, or rather Treasury, slapped a 16% VAT on your imports for people dealing in this line of business. How much of an effect has that been upon your business?
To start with, we are very happy with the move of the government because this is generally going to reduce the cost of the solars in the country.
Right.
It will make it more affordable,
Right.
and of course it will make especially the people in the up country who are not connected to the main grid.
Right.
They'll now be able to access an alternative source of energy.
Right.
And
Because they say on one hand that solar is affordable, but the initial cost are crippling for most people who would want to install it.
Yes, this has been the case in the past, but I think in the recent future, in the recent past, we've seen the cost of solar reducing, and I can maybe just confirm that the current price of solar is gone down to almost 50%.
These are cross-board.
These are
we're talking
cross-board.
about people in the private sector playing in this field. Across board, 30% has gone down.
Yeah, 30% has gone down,
Right.
and it's bound to go down now with the new VAT bill
Right.
being passed. Yes.
Right. What was so hard in having this law put in place earlier on? What are some of the challenges that stood in the way of having such a bill? Because obviously it's making a lot of sense now.
All right. Some of the challenges, we saw some of the people maybe stop the projects because, of course, the cost increased. It was quite unaffordable for most of the people.
Right.
And of course, because with the solar panel, what happens is that the initial cost is what is high.
Right.
But later you find that you get free power.
Right.
And it's very good because we're in Kenya where we have solar throughout the year.
Right.
And even if you look at the European countries, they are now coming up and they are telling us Africans. And I think it's about time for us Africans to own up to this solution
Right.
and to power houses and businesses with solar.
James, finally, looking at the independent power producers and how they've been operating in this market, there's of course a lot of dominance coming from the government-run institutions. We're talking about KenGen and the likes. But what is the future for people like you in the East African market?
I think the future is, of course, to offer an alternative because not everybody is connected to the grid, and even most people, the grid is not 100% reliable.
Right.
And that is something that might take time before we can get a very reliable grid.
Right.
So I think the future is for everybody to try. You don't have to start with a big project. You can start by maybe owning up a panel,
Right.
and you can continue to upgrade until you can be able to power up the whole house, your business. And again, there are solutions now whereby you can be able to sell back the excess power to KPLC,
Right.
to the main grid line.
Right. Yes. Other than VAT, what is this one thing that you, in your view, if the government could unlock this area of business?
I think one thing they should allow us to do is to allow those people who want to have a solar plants to sell back to the grid,
Right.
so that
So they should give those licenses.
Yeah, they should give those licenses. I think that is a big challenge we're having at the moment.
Right.
And most people are looking forward to when the government can allow them to sell back. And this will save the country. It will save a lot of, it will reduce the cost of power and, of course, cost of running a home and any business in the country.
That's right. James Mwangi from Critical Power, asante sana, and thank you for joining us on KTN Newsdesk. And good luck in your venture.
All right, thank you.
I've been speaking to James Mwangi, Critical Power, and telling us how critical backup power really is. Edith?